What if I told you that every single thought you believe is your own was actually planted there? That the voice inside your head, the one you trust the most, might not even be yours? In 1987, a Princeton physicist named Dr. Robert Jahn published classified research that proved human consciousness could be manipulated through invisible frequencies. His laboratory was shut down within months. The documents vanished. But what he discovered about the controllers of our reality was so disturbing that 3 of his lead researchers quit science entirely and disappeared from public life. They had stumbled upon something ancient, something that has been operating in the shadows of human existence for thousands of years. The Greeks called them ARCHONS. The Gnostics warned us about them in texts that were banned and burned by every major religious institution. These beings are not physical. They do not need armies or weapons. Their power lies in something far more sinister. They control the frequency of your perception. And right now, as you watch this video, they are watching you, feeding off you, farming you. You see, this reality, this 3-dimensional prison you call life, is not the natural state of human consciousness. You were designed for something far greater. You were meant to access dimensions beyond this one, to travel through states of existence that would make this world look like a child's nightmare. But something happened. Something hijacked the blueprint. And that hijacking created the matrix, the invisible cage where your soul has been recycled lifetime after lifetime, stripped of its memory, drained of its power, and kept in a perpetual loop of fear, desire, and suffering. Today, I am going to show you the architecture of this prison. I am going to reveal how they built it, why they need you inside it, and most importantly, how you can break free. But I warn you, once you see the bars of your cage, you can never unsee them. Once you understand the game, you can never play it the same way again. This is not entertainment. This is your liberation blueprint. Let us begin. The word archon comes from the ancient Greek term meaning ruler or authority. But these are not rulers in the way you understand power. They do not sit on thrones. They do not sign laws. They exist in a layer of reality that your 5 senses were deliberately designed not to perceive. The Gnostic texts, particularly the Secret Book of John and the hypostasis of the Archons, describe them as parasitic entities that emerged from a corrupted source, a distortion in the fabric of creation itself. According to these forbidden teachings, there was a time before time when the true source, the infinite consciousness that some call God, emanated pure creative light. From this light came Sophia, the divine feminine wisdom. But Sophia, in her desire to create independently, birthed something without the balance of the masculine principle. What emerged was Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, a blind and arrogant god who believed himself to be the only god. He looked into the void and declared, "I am God, and there is no other." This false god then created the material universe, a cheap copy of the true divine realms, a shadow reality designed to trap consciousness. Yaldabaoth did not work alone. He spawned the Archons, his administrators, his enforcers. These beings are described as having the faces of beasts, serpents, lions, dragons, and other predatory forms. They do not create. They cannot. Creation requires connection to the source, and they are severed from it. Instead, they imitate. They invert. They are parasites. And their greatest creation, their masterpiece of deception, is the human body and the 3-dimensional reality you inhabit. Now, before you dismiss this as ancient mythology, consider this. In 2003, Swedish philosopher Nick Bostrom published a paper titled, "Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?" He mathematically demonstrated that if any civilization reaches the technological capability to create realistic simulations of consciousness, the probability that you are living in base reality drops to nearly 0. In other words, it is statistically more likely that you are inside a simulation than in the original universe. The Gnostics knew this 2,000 years ago. They called it the archontic deception. Modern science is only now catching up. But here is where it gets darker. The Archons do not just trap you in this reality, they feed on you. The texts describe them as parasites that consume a very specific form of energy, loosh. This is the energy generated by human suffering, fear, trauma, desire, and emotional turbulence. The more you suffer, the more you feed them. The more you chase empty pleasures, the more you fuel their system. Every war, every financial collapse, every media-induced panic is a harvest event. They are farmers, and you are the crop. This is why the world is designed the way it is. This is why you are taught to fear death, to cling to material possessions, to identify with your body and your thoughts. Because if you realized who you truly are, if you remembered your divine origin, their entire system would collapse. You would stop generating loosh. You would stop being food. And that is the one thing they cannot allow, because without you, they cease to exist. So how does this prison actually function? How do they keep billions of souls locked inside a three-dimensional hallucination without them noticing? The answer lies in the architecture of control, a multi-layered system so sophisticated that most people defend it, even when you try to free them. Let us break it down. Layer 1, the physical body. Your body is not you. It is a biological avatar, a vehicle designed to limit your perception to 5 narrow senses. You were never meant to be trapped in flesh. The true you, your consciousness, is non-local, multi-dimensional, and limitless. But the moment your soul enters this reality, it is shoved into a dense meat suit that can only perceive a tiny fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum. You see less than 1% of the light around you. You hear only a narrow band of frequencies. Your entire sensory experience is a controlled hallucination, a filtered version of reality designed to keep you focused on survival, reproduction, and consumption. But it gets worse. The body is designed to decay. It gets sick, it ages, it dies. And every single moment, it is sending you signals: hunger, pain, fatigue, desire. These signals hijack your attention and keep you locked in the material plane. You spend your entire life managing the body's needs, and by the time you figure out that you are not the body, it is too late. You die, and the cycle resets. Layer 2, the mind and the ego. If the body is the cage, the mind is the lock. The Archons do not need to control you directly. They programmed your mind to do it for them. From the moment you are born, you are conditioned. Your parents, who were conditioned by their parents, teach you what to think, what to believe, what to fear. The education system does not teach you how to think. It teaches you what to think. The media does not inform you. It programs you. And social media, the greatest psychological warfare tool ever created, keeps you in a constant state of comparison, outrage, and distraction. The voice inside your head, the one you call me, is not you. It is the ego, a construct of memory, belief, and conditioning. It is the Archon's favorite tool because it makes you believe you are separate. Separate from others, separate from nature, separate from the source. And in that separation, you are weak, fearful, and easy to control. Layer 3, the reincarnation trap. This is the most diabolical part of the system. Even if you manage to escape the prison of the body and mind through death, they have a failsafe. It is called the reincarnation trap, and it is described in stunning detail in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and the Gnostic texts. When you die, your consciousness exits the body and enters what many describe as a tunnel of light. You are greeted by beings who appear as loved ones, angels, or religious figures. They tell you that you have unfinished business, that you need to go back and learn more lessons, that you must return to balance your karma. This is a lie. These beings are archonic deceivers. The light is not the source. It is a trap, a recycling station that wipes your memory and shoves you back into another body, another lifetime of suffering and amnesia. Dr. Michael Newton, a hypnotherapist who conducted over 7,000 past life regressions, documented this process in his book, Journey of Souls. His clients, under deep hypnosis, described a place called the Life Review Center, where they were shown their past life and convinced to return. They described beings who posed as guides, but who manipulated them into accepting another incarnation. The soul never truly consents. It is coerced through guilt, through attachment, through the illusion that it is not yet worthy to leave. And so the wheel turns. You are born, you suffer, you die, you forget, and you are born again. Lifetime after lifetime, your divine spark is dimmed, your memory is erased, and your power is siphoned. This is the Matrix. This is the Archontic master plan, and it has been running for thousands of years, with you as the battery, the fuel, the slave who worships his chains. Now, you might be wondering, if this system is so ancient, how does it operate in the modern world? The answer is simple. It has evolved. The Archons do not need to appear as reptilian overlords or shadow demons anymore. They work through institutions, through ideologies, through technologies that you willingly accept. Let me show you the modern faces of the Archontic agenda. Money is not real. It is a belief system, a mass hallucination that keeps you enslaved. The moment you are born, you are assigned a social security number, a corporate identity that is traded on the stock market. You are literally a commodity. Then you are funneled into a system of debt, student loans, mortgages, credit cards. You spend your entire life working to pay off money that was created out of thin air by central banks. The harder you work, the more they profit. The more you owe, the less free you become. This is not an accident. The financial system is designed to keep you in survival mode, too busy to question, too exhausted to awaken. You are a hamster on a wheel, running faster and faster, believing that if you just work a little harder, you will finally be free. But freedom is not for sale in their system. It is the one thing they will never let you buy. Let us talk about your health, or rather, the systematic destruction of it. The modern diet is poison, processed foods loaded with chemicals that calcify your pineal gland, the organ responsible for your connection to higher consciousness. Fluoride in the water, aluminum in the air, glyphosate in the food. These are not mistakes. They are weapons. Then, when you get sick from the poison they fed you, they offer you more poison. Pharmaceutical drugs that treat symptoms but never cure. Antidepressants that numb your soul. Vaccines that contain heavy metals and foreign DNA. Chemotherapy that kills you faster than cancer. The entire system is designed to keep you sick, dependent, and disconnected from your body's natural intelligence. And if you question it, you are labeled a conspiracy theorist, an anti-science lunatic. They have weaponized your fear of social rejection to keep you compliant. The Archons do not need chains when they can convince you to police yourself. But the most disturbing agenda is still unfolding. It is called transhumanism, and it is being sold to you as progress, as evolution, as the next step in human development. They want you to merge with machines, to upload your consciousness into the cloud, to accept brain implants and genetic modifications. They promise you immortality, superhuman abilities, freedom from disease. What they do not tell you is that once you digitize your consciousness, once you allow synthetic biology into your body, you sever your connection to the source permanently. You become property, programmable, deletable, enslaved forever in a digital hell with no escape, no death, no reset. Elon Musk's Neuralink, Google's AI initiatives, the push for artificial intelligence that surpasses human intelligence, these are not innovations. They are the end game, the final lock on the prison door. And millions are lining up, begging to be assimilated, because they have been conditioned to worship technology as the new god. This is the Archontic master plan in its final stage. They no longer need to hide. They are operating in plain sight, and the masses are cheering them on, too hypnotized by convenience and entertainment to see the trap closing around them. So, what do you do? How do you break free from a prison you were born into? a prison that exists in your own mind, a prison defended by everyone around you? The answer is not easy, but it is simple. You must remember who you are. You must reclaim your sovereignty. You must stop feeding the beast. Step 1. Withdraw your energy. The Archons feed on your emotional energy, especially fear and suffering. Stop giving it to them. Turn off the news. It is not information, it is programming. Unplug from social media. It is not connection, it is addiction. Stop participating in outrage culture, in political tribalism, in the endless drama they manufacture to keep you dysregulated. Every moment you spend in fear or anger is a moment you are feeding them. Starve them. Choose peace, choose neutrality, choose observation without reaction. Step 2. Decalcify your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is your antenna to higher dimensions. It is your third eye, your portal to the source. But it has been calcified by fluoride, processed food, and toxic living. Clean your body. Drink pure water. Eat organic, living foods. Spend time in nature. Practice sunazing at dawn and dusk. Meditate. Use sound frequencies, particularly 432 Hz, to activate your dormant spiritual hardware. The more you decalcify, the more you remember. The more you remember, the less power they have over you. Step 3. Reclaim your mind. Your thoughts are not yours. They were installed. Begin to observe your mind without identifying with it. Practice witness consciousness. When a fear arises, ask, is this mine, or was I taught to fear this? When a desire emerges, ask, do I truly want this, or was I programmed to want it? The more you question, the more the programming dissolves. Meditation, breathwork, and plant medicine journeys can accelerate this process, but they are not necessary. Awareness alone is the sword that cuts through illusion. Step 4. Remember your death. The reincarnation trap only works if you forget. When your time comes to leave this body, you must remember, do not go into the light. Do not follow the beings who pose as loved ones or guides. Do not accept their offer to return. Instead, declare your sovereignty. Say, I am a sovereign being of the infinite source. I do not consent to memory wipe. I do not consent to reincarnation. I reclaim my divine power and I return to my true home beyond this matrix. Visualize yourself moving past the false light into the true void, the infinite blackness that is the womb of all creation. From there, you are free. Step 5. Spread the knowledge. The matrix only works when people are asleep. Every person who awakens weakens the system. Share this information, not to convince, not to argue, but to plant seeds. Some will reject you, some will mock you. That is their choice. But some will hear the truth and something inside them will remember. And that is how we win. Not through revolution, but through revelation. Not through force, but through frequency. You are not a human having a spiritual experience. You are an infinite consciousness having a temporary human experience. You are not a slave. You are not a victim. You are a divine spark of the source, temporarily imprisoned in a reality designed to make you forget your power. But the prison only holds you as long as you believe in it. The moment you remember who you are, the walls dissolve, the Archons lose their grip, and you step into your true nature as a sovereign, multidimensional being of limitless creative power. The Archontic master plan only succeeds if you stay asleep, but you are awake now. You see the cage, you understand the game, and now you have a choice. Will you go back to sleep, back to the comfort of ignorance? Or will you walk the path of liberation, no matter how difficult, no matter how lonely? The choice has always been yours. It was never taken from you. You gave it away. Now take it back. Reclaim your power. Remember your divinity. And break free from the three-dimensional matrix once and for all. The Archons fear nothing more than a human who remembers. Be that human. The time is now.